All right. Welcome to the Entertainment Panel. I am your host, Will. Like always, subscribe. Go ahead and throw us some love in the comments. If there's something that you want us to cover, let us know down in the comments below. We are on Spotify, Apple Music. We are on Amazon Music. Yeah. And then, of course, all the socials. So go ahead and follow us everywhere. If there's an idea that you have for us, just make sure you leave those in the comments, like I said before. But we'll get right into it.
If you sound a little bit nasally, ladies and gentlemen, I think everybody in here kind of got something a little bit going on.
Man, there's something crazy going on around in the Midwest right now.
Yeah, because I know I got like a really bad cough, like I've been smoking weed all dang on day. I hit the blunt just one good time, like all in. Yeah, it's been bad. So
yeah. Everybody. I don't know if one person who hasn't gotten it, and I don't usually get sick. I'm usually okay.
Right, yeah.
I didn't get it bad or anything like that, but it's just the congestion and stuff. It's just annoying.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. We'll get right into it. We'll start off with Adolescence, which is it's a little heavy, but
Yeah, so that was our show that we all talked about watching, finishing it. Did you finish it?
Oh man, finished all of it. I finished all of it in pretty much 2 days because I think I watched the first 3 episodes. I watched the first 3.5. I got into that last episode, and that was right late at night. I was getting ready to go to bed, and then I finished it that last 30 minutes up the next day. So yeah.
So what'd you guys think of it?
I thought that it was really good, but it just I kept waiting for
that wild moment.
No, well, not that, but we'll do some spoilers. So
yeah, full spoilers on Adolescence if you haven't seen it. It's 4 episodes long on Netflix.
Yeah,
I thought the kid was gonna get off.
I didn't see it that way.
I thought I thought the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, maybe he got framed somehow. They're gonna tell a story of how maybe he was just covering up for some kid or something like that. Like I thought maybe it was like another
despite
kid.
the video evidence they showed.
Yeah, I thought it was the other, because remember that black girl beat up another boy at the school.
Exactly.
So
I thought his friend.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe him wearing his other, like they forced him to wear his clothes or something, and then he did the crime and the act, and the other kid is really innocent but doesn't want to rat out his friend.
Right.
I don't know why my mind went there, but I believed him. I believed him so much.
I didn't believe him, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't believe him. Because at first, obviously I'm like, nah, he couldn't have did it. And then when they literally showed him on camera, I was like, and then as a father, it was like, what did you do? So I'm like, all right, cool. That second episode is when it started to kind of like get a little bit crystal for me, to the point where I believe like, that's a strong possibility he could have did it, because his friends, the black kid and the white kid, they were both talking about, did the cops come talk to you? No, the cops ain't come talk to you. No, they might want to come talk to us. What did you do to the knife? I don't have the knife. You know what I'm saying? So that I started looking like, okay, one of them gave the knife to him. And then the cop's son, when he was talking to his dad.
That part I did not understand at all.
He broke it down to his dad.
When he was telling about the emojis and stuff?
Yeah, I got that, and then that's when I was looking like, okay, he was like, a blue pill mean this, red pill mean this, this means that, and that means that, and he was like, Dad, you're not getting it, you're not understanding it, and he kept trying to break it down to him, and once Dad caught on, that's when he went out to his partner. He was like, Jamie was getting bullied by that girl. And I was like, wow, that was like a twist. I'm like, really? Here I'm thinking he is like, I want to say, looking at this girl because he said something about she posts her boobs on the internet.
No, he got a nude of her. I don't know how he got it, but then he passed it around.
It was spread around at school. That's what I'm saying. She posts her boobs like on Instagram or whatever, and it got spread around through the school. And from there, I started following. I was like, okay. And then these certain emojis meant certain things, and she was basically bullying him through the emojis. I was like, wow. That's when I knew. I was like, okay. And then his friend, when he went in there and he was like, I need to talk to you, and his friend booked it and ran away, I was like, okay. So, and then that's when his friend was like, the knife is mine, but I gave to Jamie. And then that's when he's like, I'm booking you because, conspiracy to murder and everything. I was like, yeah. So it was, that's when I knew right then and there he did it, man.
So for a lot of the reasons you just talked about, can I say this is why I didn't like the show?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, okay, so kind of going off of what you had said, where you thought it was like all this shit was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because we've seen so many shows where it's like they show you a character and they give you a reason why, and they plan all these things, and eventually it all comes around. A lot of stuff that happened in the show didn't end up mattering, like the fights in the schools.
Yeah,
a lot of this stuff that they planted seeds for. Like I was thinking, like you were thinking, where I'm like,
didn't matter. He's still guilty.
I'm like, okay, this is gonna come back somehow. Like I need to remember this. This is important. Like I almost felt like writing some of the shit down because I'm like, they're trying to lead us one way so they can flip it, and they never did. It literally just played out the way it almost played out like a real life story because it was so like believable, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing crazy where it was like, oh, the whole time it was really this guy, or like the kid with the knife. Okay, so he ran. And that, what did that end up? They never went back to that. The kid, they never showed what happened to that kid. If that he got in trouble, that never ended up mattering. Like the knife was never even found. Like there was just so much stuff where I was like, what did they even tell us all this for?
Because, and then you got to remember at the end, he had called his dad and, wished him a happy birthday. And then he was like, Dad, I know it's your birthday, but I just want to let you know, I'm changing my plea to guilty. Like, hold up.
That was the only shock.
You're not gonna do that?
Not really, because we saw video evidence. His dad.
Yeah, but I was waiting for a twist.
Right.
Well,
you was waiting.
The shock
for that
was
twist.
the lack of a twist.
Yeah,
was what shocked you. You're like, oh, I guess that really is.
Like I said,
oh, he really did it.
How I said I knew he did it because he played that counselor like a fucking fiddle. When they went in there 1-on-1 and she was talking to him,
that was scary. That kid actor was amazing.
Man, he played her like a fiddle, like So what is that question supposed to mean? This and that, and then you don't get to tell me what to do, when to sit down. Then just went back to being calm. I was like,
yeah, he was scary with how quick he was switching from being normal to exploding, and then just like, all right, exactly. I see what's going on, and then back to like,
can you give me another hot chocolate?
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take another one.
Yeah, and then what I did is I watched. It was about like a 2, maybe 5 minutes of behind the scenes of what they did.
I want to see that.
And spoiler alert, people, they said that how they did this was they did it in a completely different way. That, okay, yeah, you had a beginning of we're going in here to grab a kid because, he's under arrest and we thinking that he committed murder. All right, boom. So we go from there. Then now we have to go from there to the police talking to the school. And then from the police talking to the school to him sitting down and talking to the counselor. And then at the end with the family, and one of them, the dad, I can't remember his name, the actor, but he said that the reason why they did it like that is because normally when typical things like this do happen, they always show the other side of like the victims, like parents and how it's affecting them. It never shows like the person that committed the crime. It never shows how their parents are like treated and everything. I was like, that is like pretty good, unique way to look at that because of that. And then he was just like, we made this because these are the things that you have to talk to your kids about because you just never know. It'd be that one kid that you wouldn't expect to do anything and they end up doing something like that. And I was like, that's true. You literally need to talk to your kids about these. And this is one of the things I talk to my boys about all the time. I was like, how's your mental health today? Are you good? Did anybody mess with you at school? Talk to me. If anything is going on, let me know because bullying out here has took a whole new twist and turn from like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
You know, we was able to confront our bullies right then and there.
And it didn't go home with you as easy.
Yeah.
Because you can see the evidence.
Yeah.
If you got a black eye, if your leg is messed up, if your shoes are ripped up, if your clothes, you can tell.
And now it's like...
It's all social media. It's all psychological.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I can say what I want to say about you on social media. And then I had talked to my wife. I was like, kids, they flipped a new way to bully. She was like, what are you talking about? It's like, they're doing shit with emojis now. She was like, yeah. Certain emojis mean this. Certain... I'm like... Wow, like just crazy, but it wasn't. To me, it was a good show, just because you wouldn't think a kid like that, like real calm, real cool, collective, wouldn't have committed the murder, and he did. Just because I said it, when I looked at it, I was like, this girl was bullying him the whole damn time, but nobody never questioned why was that girl picking on him. She was an innocent girl, this and that, but. Come to find out he was being bullied by this girl. I was like, damn.
What did you take from it, Joe? As far as like the lesson?
I mean, I thought the lesson, like what Coach was saying, I mean, obviously it's talking about how much bullying has evolved over time and things like that. Because you can only get, not used to only, but like for majority of us growing up, you were getting bullied. If you were getting bullied, it was at school. Yeah. It wasn't coming home with you. They weren't calling your house to call you a piece of shit on the phone. Like that wasn't happening. But now that it's on social media, now you can bully someone after hours, like on the weekends. Like you can do it all 24 hours a day. Other people can join in by liking a message or not liking it or whatever. So now it's like, it's way more invasive or pervasive than it was when we were younger. But I don't know. The show, like I said, I just was expecting like it was. I think the show was 100% based off being good because of the emotional appeal, you know, of like the emotions of what was going on, the emotions of the actors. I mean, those actors honestly were all amazing to be able to do that in one shot, to be able to react like that. I mean, I was thinking about like Stephen Graham's character in that last episode. He had to go from completely raging out at the hardware store, flipping out. He just as an actor, I'm saying he had to land all that perfectly, you know. Then he had to go home, and then he had to have that scene where he's crying as he's tucking the teddy bear into bed. Like he had to do all that in one shot. Like that's fucking impressive. A lot of actors have to like psych themselves up for a scene one way or the other, and he had to fucking do it all on camera live as it's happening. So he did an amazing job. That little boy was an incredible actor. Oh, man. I mean, he was so scary in that room with that therapist in terms of how quickly he would switch. And then he was like, I had a knife. I could have done whatever I want to her. And I didn't even touch her.
Right. But exactly.
Doesn't that make me like a good guy? Like, aren't I? Like, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking psychotic. And that kid being so young, being able to keep all his lines straight. Like a lot of the time. So that first episode, I was so distracted by the fact that it was a one shot that I was thinking the whole time of the logistics. I'm like, okay, so that first scene, they're outside the car. And then they get in the car. I'm like, okay, I understand that they put it in the car. Now someone's probably in the back seat holding the camera. And then they get out of the car and they walk into the building, but the camera goes up and over traffic. And I'm like, how the fuck are they doing this? I'm like, okay, so someone outside of the car must have grabbed it. Now they're on an ATV and he's got the camera on a pole. And then they get down to the school, and I'm like, okay, now he must have handed the camera off to a guy on foot. Like I'm thinking of all the logistics
too.
Yeah.
So then when episode 2 happens, that drone shot, I had to stop right there and Google it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to figure out how the fuck they did this. Yeah. But yeah, it was the same thing. They took the camera, they attached it to a drone that was flying, and then the drone took off seamlessly because you never see the camera shake. You never see all of a sudden they go, oh fuck. Like it's still the whole time. Yeah, it goes up to a drone. The drone flies over to the scene where the dad is putting down the road or putting down the flowers. And as the drone comes down, the guy on the ground has to detach it off the drone and then carry it by hand.
The crazy thing to me is, you know, doing this, you know, shooting podcasts and different content and whatnot. You're like, okay, so when you have a camera that's like that, you know, that camera has to be charged too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when you're shooting, when you're doing things like that, like it has to have like battery packs and different things. So I'm like, what's on, like, what are the accessories attached to it? How they keep it attached to it?
Well, multiple cameras too.
Right. Yeah.
Well, not multiple cameras.
No, it's one camera.
Right. Not multiple cameras, but different like rigs and attachments and
that's
people.
what I'm saying. That like, you know, how does it keep it charged throughout that time? And then
when you go through it and watch behind the scenes, it's gonna show you they got so many cameras.
I want to see
because the one, you know, where it shows the dad walking up the stairs. So
Yeah.
they have like this big ass camera, and then they got a thing where you can hold it, and it's showing some dude holding it like this as he's walking up, and then you got another dude that's standing
Probably
up.
grabs it from the top.
He grabbed it right there from the top and just kept shooting it, and then until I was like,
That's what I'm saying. Like they're
That was
constantly having to hand
amazing.
the camera off or
Yeah.
attach it to different things as it's moving. Then I was starting to think, okay, that first episode, they bust the door down, right?
yeah,
Let's say 6 minutes into that episode, right? Somebody screws up a line, camera falls, whatever. They have to go reset that house now. They have to go put a new fucking door on. They have to go put the
Right.
house back
Yeah.
to where it was because it just got ransacked. So in my head, I'm thinking the logistics of this. I'm like, they must have, as soon as they leave a scene, they must have everybody just rebuild the set just in case. So they don't have to wait around. So by the time they get looped back around, if they have to reset it, it's all ready to go.
because I know they did like show them rehearsing their lines, especially the part where they were in the room and the counselor and everything else. He forgot a line and this and that, but they was like, that's just rehearsing. And then they was like, shot it. They was amazed how quickly he just got in the character. He learned and nailed every single line within there. I was looking like, man, damn, in one shot, you gotta be good, because they'd be like, take, let's run it back, and so
Imagine
on.
being the guy who fucks up in minute like 53.
Oh, man, wow.
And then everybody has to redo the whole fucking hour because you messed up your one scene. Or there was a scene where they were walking through the school. I think it was episode 3, whatever the scene was, episode 2. They were going down the hallway and they were trying to go into a different classroom, and their student came up the stairs and then and I'm thinking, what if that student tripped? Like, what if that fucking actor who's just an extra who is in 3 seconds, what if they fucking trip? Or what if a background, I think it was episode 1 or maybe episode 2, where there's all the school students, the fire alarm gets pulled and they all go outside.
Episode
I'm like, what if one of those extras is just like in the background?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Done. Whole thing's over with. You got to redo it all.
Think about it. Episode 2, Katie, her friend, the black girl. Remember what she said to old boy right before she hit him? She was like, "You killed Katie." I don't know if y'all caught him. She's like,
Yeah, that's why I was like, why did she
killed
say
Katie.
that?
So it's kind of like, yeah, why did she say that? Did you know something that we didn't know? Because come to find out, them 3 boys were getting bullied that whole dang on time at school. Not only top of that, the cops kid was getting bullied at school. And that's the reason why I could see at the end of like that, he told his son, he was like, I just want to go get something to eat. Man, I just want to spend some time with my son.
Yeah.
I want to see where your head is at, because there's some things around here happening that I don't know anything about. And then especially because I was telling my wife about this, I was like, how that some kids, when you search certain things to them, they flip out. Because remember the black girl, she was just like, this is hard. I'm dealing with the death of one of my best friends, this and that. And then the lady just said, all she said was, maybe you need to just talk to somebody. She didn't say who or whatever else. The little girl flipped out. So I got to go talk to a shrink. No, I'm not going to talk to no fucking shrink, and walked out and going back to class. And that's what I'm talking about with kids. Like, you say something like that, they thinking that, go talk to a shrink. No, I ain't say go talk to a shrink. I said just talk to someone. And I was just like,
But my thing is, like, none of those conversations mattered. Like, they never came back around. Like, the girl calling out the other kid as you killed Katie. Like, that was something I'm like, oh, so this kid's involved too.
Yeah.
Nope, wasn't. Or at least didn't.
But he was involved because it was his knife.
It was his knife, but I mean,
don't
like,
nobody know what a knife was, though.
and they never found the knife. And then,
Exactly.
and they never like showed, oh, did that kid end up getting charged with anything? Like, that just went away and that kid never came up
All
again.
he
And I'm
just
like,
said is, I'm charging you with this. And that was it. And like you say, he went away. And then the other friend, the black kid, remember how suspicious he was when he was talking, he was like, no, they didn't come talk to me. You got the knife? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost kind of like,
And we didn't find out anything about
Right.
what was going
Yeah.
on.
did you guys know that Jamie was going to do this? Like, come on, man. And then on top of that, not only top of that, I can see it and I can get it and understand it because bullying has progressed. But these kids out here, the girl is only 13 years old. Why are you posting your boobs on Instagram, then it gets spread around the whole dang on school?
So she sent the boob pic to one of the kids, and then he sent it to Jamie, and then Jamie spread it
Right.
to
And that's
everybody
what I'm
else.
talking about. Like,
But she didn't post it on social media.
Yeah, well, okay, she ain't posted on social media. But why are you sending your boobs to some young boy? You know what I'm saying? Girls and boys are out here doing certain things like that, and this is how things get like 10 times spread it out, and then now it's all over the school, and then now somebody bullying you through this and that, and it's like, man, it's like, so I got the whole concept. I was just like, man, and like it tugged at my heartstrings at the end when the dad was sitting there and he was crying and he was telling his son, I'm sorry, like, and tucked him in like almost like one of those like,
yeah, my wife cried.
I couldn't protect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are the things I tried to protect you from, but he even said, he was like, we got it on the computer, but we don't know what the hell he's in there doing on the computer and this and that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I'm like, man, I got a 13-year-old kid. I got a 15-year-old son. I'm looking like, and they're boys, and I'm like, man, that hurt because I could not fathom or imagine something like that happen to one of my boys, because I probably have to be like, hey, no, you know what? You take me instead of them. Like, I plead, but it's just like, what could the man do? Like,
Yeah, they were two parents that did what they could, and you know, you can't really blame yourself past that.
Because what did he say? He was like, his dad beat on him, and he promised that he wasn't gonna do that to his kids.
Yeah, that he would be better. And then he said, am I even better? Because my kid just killed someone.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you remember in the first episode, he seen the shock on his face. He was like, what did you do? And his son tried to touch him. He was like,
oh, he turned away. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost one of those like, I can't believe my son just did what he did.
So that's funny. Obviously, not even close to the same scale. But my wife reacted to that scene. She's like, "Oh my god, like what an asshole!" I said, "D, I did the same thing when Nutmeg bit one of our friends. Like we had a friend over, and they brought their dog, and their dog like was snarling at Nutmeg, and Nutmeg is my dog's name.
Right.
And Nutmeg jumped to go like nip at the dog." And my friend put her arm in between, and Nutmeg ended up biting her elbow. Like, let go, obviously, but just like cut her elbow. And I was so mad at Nutmeg. I like wouldn't look at her. Like, I literally like would not pet her. Like, I would not look at her.
Right.
And I told D, I'm like, I did the same thing with Nutmeg. Remember when I was like disgusted at her? I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, I didn't raise you to be like this. Like, you are not supposed to be biting people. I was so disgusted. I'm like, that's how he felt. Like, what the fuck? Who is this kid?
And how would you
Killed
feel?
this person.
How would you look at your daughter if she was to maybe do something like that? Like,
Yeah, it would freak you out. You wouldn't even know how to respond.
right? You probably look at your daughter like, don't touch me, like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I still keep going back to episode 3, man. He played her like a fiddle. Cause remember, after he did all that, he went, jumped at her.
Yeah, he like flinched, or he like did that to see if
and
she'd
she
flinch.
jumped back. I was like, this kid's smart than a mug.
He's a
man.
monster.
Yeah,
Right,
the kid's
like-
psycho.
Yeah, man.
But that actor was great.
Yeah.
Speaking of Psycho Kids, I know you guys haven't watched it yet, but Good American Family, I mentioned it last week. I'm caught up. There's only 5 episodes right now, and I'm all caught up on. I got through episode 5 last night. They air episodically, weekly. Yeah, it's about. Let me see. Let me look at that.
Is it a documentary or a scripted
No, it's a show.
drama?
It's a scripted show.
It almost kind of reminded me of that one movie, Orphan.
It's a
Orphan Black?
It's about a little girl who is an orphan. Her name is Natalia Grace, and she was born with dwarfism, and so basically the family takes her in, but there's all these like weird, weird things going. Like this family, for some reason, they had trouble finding a kid to adopt. And they had a kid who was supposed to be theirs, but kind of got stripped away from them last minute. So they were kind of desperate. And basically a place, contacted them and was like, hey, we got this girl, she's from Ukraine, she's 7 years old. She needs a home. But the thing is, you got 24 hours to figure out if you're going to take her or not, because blah, 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 blah. And as soon as they take her, Then they start realizing all this shit's fucked up. Her paperwork's fucked up. They're having a hard time getting a hold of the people who adopted them to her. Everything's fishy. The little kid's acting up. She's doing all types of crazy shit, and it doesn't really spoil it, but eventually they don't think that she's actually 7 years old. But if you watch the show,
Is it Good American Family?
yeah, Good American Family.
Okay. Wait, this is not real?
It's real.
Oh, it is real.
Yeah, it is
you said it was scripted.
It's scripted as it's like reenacted.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Because I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah.
When it happened in real life.
Right. That's the reason why I said it almost kind of remind me of the movie Orphan Black, where the girl looked like she was a kid, but she wasn't a kid. Come to find out, she was a actual grown ass woman. Like,
well, that's different from Orphan Black. Orphan Black was the show with the clones.
oh no, the one I'm talking about is just called Orphan.
Orphan, okay.
And where in this movie, where she looked like a little kid, but come to find out she literally was a grown ass woman when they figured it all out, but looked just like a little kid. Like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, because when I was watching the previews and I'm looking like, because the one part they was talking about, look at her teeth.
Yeah.
Her teeth is not.
Yeah, there was one part where the mom walked in on her in the bathroom and she was like, she has hair. Like,
Wow.
and the girl's supposed to be 7 years old.
Oh, like body hair.
Yeah, like pubic hair.
Yeah,
And
right.
she was like, and then they thought she was like at one point in time hiding her periods and things like that. And it tells us, the funny thing is, it tells it from all three of their perspective: the little girl's perspective, it tells it from the parents' perspective, the mom and the dad, because they're kind of on different teams too. The dad is incredibly weird, like incredibly weird.
No,
like you don't know what his intentions are. Weird, but and he's like so obsessed with having a daughter. It's like, it's wild.
and the
mom is like, she at one point she seems like the only person who's sane, and at another point she seems like she's the most delirious of them all. And they all fluctuate. Sometimes you like the little girl. Sometimes you fucking hate the little girl. Like, they wrote it really well. It's really an emotional roller coaster. Okay. But you don't know who to root for because everybody's all fucked up. So
okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out, man. I'm looking forward to it, and
I thought it was hilarious. That little girl don't look like she a little girl.
oh wow,
They got her on there looking crazy.
yeah, wow,
She looks scary as hell.
that's crazy.
Tell me about White Lotus.
So do you guys watch White Lotus?
I do not know.
No? I wonder if should I spoil it? Does it matter?
Just tell me what it's about, because I actually have to start it.
All right, then I won't spoil it.
This season 2, right?
Season 3.
Oh wow.
So season 1 took place in Hawaii. Season 2 was Italy. Season 3 is Thailand.
Okay.
So you don't know what the show's even about?
No.
Okay, so the show is about see, I'll preface this by saying I'm not a big fan of the show. I think it's worth watching because I find it interesting, but like, my wife loves the show. I know other people who love the show, but the show is really just about White Lotus is this chain of hotels, luxury hotels around the world, and each season goes to a different White Lotus resort or whatever in different parts of the world, and it's always showing the dichotomy between rich people and poor people, or people who work at the hotel or whatever. Usually people who work at the hotel, not really poor people, because it's a luxurious, whatever. And it just shows like super rich people who come in and how weird these rich people are and the weird things that they can get away with because they have money. And then kind of how the workers there like kind of have to placate these people because they're rich. And that's kind of the general gist of like all 3 seasons. This season was about a family who goes to Thailand and they rent this like bungalow or whatever. And and then there's a group of 3 women who are all friends, who are like, they've been friends their whole lives, and they just want to do like a girls trip because their friendships are starting to like trail away. So they're like, let's come together and do a girls trip. Then there was a couple that was there the one guy is there to get revenge on someone who he thinks killed his dad. So he's there and he brings his girlfriend, and then all these people end up like intertwining in really weird ways. So the show doesn't really have a storyline in the sense of like you're not gonna be able to figure out like what's supposed to happen by the end of it, other than people always die, and it's super weird, and these people are fucking weird.
Oh wow, damn.
So the reason I'm not super into it is just because I like being able to try to figure out what's going to happen, or like I like being able to say like, oh, I see where this is going. And it's more like just observing weird people, and that's kind of the point of the show.
Right.
But yeah, the new season just ended, and people are kind of upset with some of the people who died. And then I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but basically there's deaths. There's always deaths. And
some people got favorite characters.
Yeah, and they didn't want to see him die, and you know, whatever. And then some people who I found annoying, I kind of wish that they did die, and you know. But yeah, that's basically White Lotus. It's on HBO Max.
Okay. All right. Cool. 1923.
All right.
All right.
Let's get into it. So 1923 is the second spinoff of Yellowstone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yellowstone takes place in present day on the Dutton family ranch. That show is still going on. Actually, no, it just ended. I'm sorry, it just ended. Season 5 just ended like over the winter.
Are they renewing it?
Nope, it's over with because Kevin Costner left the show.
Okay.
So they had to basically wrap it up because he was gone, and he was the main character of the show.
Okay.
So the show Yellowstone did end, but there's a spinoff called 1883, which is supposed to be about basically the pioneers that came over and established this land for the Duttons. Mm-hmm. And their battle with Native Americans and things like that. Basically, their journey across America to get where they end up going, you know, in the Yellowstone, Montana area.
I think originally they're from like Tennessee, something like that. Yeah.
No, I think they're from England. Didn't they come over from England?
No, they were from Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was about them just moving west then from Tennessee to Montana, where they end up living. 1923 takes place 40 years later. And it is about the family descendants of the 1883 version. Yeah. And it's about them and them trying to also, again, deal with Native Americans, you know.
And deal with, what does it say? At that time, what do we call the Industrial Revolution?
Yeah, turn of the century stuff with automobiles now and like commercialization starting to happen. And that's one of the storylines.
Trying to get their land.
Yeah, so it's basically that, and that's kind of what Yellowstone happens too, is like it's always about land and them fighting over land and this family trying to just keep their land together.
Right.
While also these Native Americans who are in all three versions of the show, there's Native American characters who are also like, well, this is also our land because really you took it from us. So there's kind of always that like that back and forth between the two different groups of characters. But to get specific into spoilers for 1923, because the finale just happened.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was good. I really liked this season. I liked it better than the last season. So they're finally making some more connections between 1923 and then Yellowstone.
Oh, exactly.
So at the end of this one, we see the birth of John, the baby, who honestly I thought was dead in that scene.
Yeah,
I thought they both died.
Yeah, you would think it, but then that baby started crying
because he was born at 6 months.
Yeah, baby started crying though.
Yeah,
that was.
Well, I'm not necessarily then. I thought he was dead then, and then he starts crying, and the doctor even said like baby's dead, but then he started crying. But I'm talking about when she's laying in bed and she dies.
Oh yeah,
I thought she died holding him, who was also dead. But then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, he's alive. His name's John.
Because he said, Aunt Cara, I don't know what to do, and she's like, thank God I'm here because I know what to do.
Yeah.
But
okay, so speaking of Cara, so I don't understand. Okay, so her nephew dies, the one who's like 26 or whatever. I can't remember his name at the moment. Not Spencer, because they don't have
shot in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah.
His name is John.
Yeah.
So he dies. His wife, girlfriend, whatever, is pregnant with a baby.
But they never said anything. She said, I will write.
The final interaction they have is Helen Mirren, Cara, telling this woman who is possibly related now by marriage or not. I don't know if they got married. Telling her
they did get married.
Yeah. She's telling her like, well, it's time for you to leave now. Like, there's nobody here for you anymore. I hope that you write to me when you get to the city, because she was going back to Boston.
Right.
I hope I get some letters from you and find out what you're up to.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's got your family in her stomach right now.
Exactly.
She is like, what, 5 months pregnant? I don't know how far along she was, but she is pregnant with your family member, and you're just telling her, all right, see you later. Hope your life goes well.
Because she told her, she said that I will never forget him. I will always. And she was like,
yeah, you will.
No, you won't.
Yeah. She's like, you'll forget him.
You'll forget him.
Eventually you'll have enough memories and that one will disappear and you won't even know.
Exactly. She's like, luckily, I have all the memories for the both of us. And she said, yeah, I'll write you. And I'm thinking like, okay, is something going to happen, say, where what happens to that child?
Why would you forget your baby daddy?
Yeah.
Like, why would she say that you're going to forget all about him? Yeah. Every time you see your child, you're going to remember who his father is, or who his or her. I don't think they know which one it was yet. I just thought that was so weird for her to be like, yeah, you'll never remember him. This was just like a fling that you guys had. Yeah. No, you're going to have a child, and your child is the son or daughter of this person. Right. Why would you forget that person? And why would you also tell her to just go fuck off to the city when she's got a relative of yours inside of her stomach right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird. I didn't understand.
You can see why I said that right before the last episode, when that lady shook her head, was like, "Don't go," because she knew that was going to happen.
Because there's no gas station.
There was no gas station. Them two people froze, and she literally had to take whatever she could to make a little small fire in the back just to keep herself warm. And the thing was crazy is that she heard the train. And then she just blew the whole damn car up.
Yeah.
But the train was already moving, so it took them a little longer to stop. But the funny part about it is Spencer seen her. And just
dove off.
This dude took off like a ball of lightning. Just running, and then just dove off at the end and ran after. And then that's when am I hearing things? No, it's literally Spencer picks her up. And what she say, where we gonna go? He was like, it's about a town like so many miles from here. I can carry you because I once carried a elk or something in the when I was in Africa. This and that. He was like, but you weigh a little bit more than you. Yeah, because I'm pregnant. And I'm like, what? And he just running. Then eventually the train did. And then when they get her back in there, her hands were black. Feet were black, and that's when the doc knew at that point in time, like, we can try, but we got to get it back to this hospital. When they got to the hospital, they were like, we got to prep you for surgery. We're going to amputate, because they could have saved her life.
Well, they said they were going to abort the baby.
Yeah, and she said no. And she gave one more push, and then they was like, okay, all right, forget the baby. We need to prep you for surgery right now to amputate. She was like, no.
Yeah, she would rather die and make sure the baby lives. And that's when John was in the room at that, or not John. What was his? Yeah, his name was also John, right?
Spencer.
No, not Spencer, the dad, Harrison Ford. What was his name? I can't remember.
John.
Is his name John?
Yeah, Uncle John.
He was in the room, and that's when he told him, like, just fucking do what she says. So she was willing to die to make sure the baby was born, and she did.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to be amputated.
Yeah, and then that's eventually Spencer said, fuck it. He went back home and raised all type of hell. Hey, I can't get mad at him. Because, was it Timothy Dawson's character? He was like, show me the guy that killed my wife.
So, okay, let's talk about that. That didn't make any sense to me. How did that rich guy, how was he responsible for Alex dying? He didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, he didn't know who she was.
The only connection I could think of is him getting Bannon and all those guys in motion to kill the Dutton family, forced Spencer to have to come home. I still don't know how that got Alex killed. But
what did Alex say? He told her, he was like, I was coming for you. She's like, I couldn't wait to take that chance. So I came to you.
But she was coming home either way.
Yeah, she was gonna come either way.
So she would have her path wouldn't have changed. Her path was gonna be the same thing where she met that Chicago family and then whatever.
Exactly.
So I didn't really understand how he was possibly gonna blame that weird rich guy on her dying. He could have. What I think they should have just said is Spencer should have just been like, take me to the guy who tried to fuck with my family or whatever.
much, yeah.
That would have made sense because he was trying to kill the Duttons off, but he didn't know Alex even existed.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just kind of weird. They should have just wrote it a little differently. I mean, I'm still fine with him killing him. That guy was a weirdo. There had to be some sort of resolution to his character anyway. I get it. But I was just like, I don't really understand the motivation.
I found it crazy that Helen Mirren was like popping motherfuckers off up there at the guy.
Oh yeah, with her sniper.
With sniper, and then here come the dude with like the Gatling gun, and then all of a sudden, Spencer was like, stop right here, because remember, with Spencer's gun, he was like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And he was like, "You can't do nothing with that." Spencer was like, "This gun right here is not meant to shoot at you. It's meant to go through you."
Yeah, it's a lion killing gun.
Right. And remember the guy with the Gatling gun? He walked up on him and he shot him and he blew him back.
He blew him like 3 feet into the door.
Yeah, and man,
that was a cool scene. He just ripped through those dudes, and then when he triple shot those dudes in the head.
Yeah, and then he went in the house with both of the guns, and then dude was like, "Damn, Spencer, we ain't even get a chance to get a shot off."
So then here's my other thought in my head. I'm thinking, does Spencer even know the people who are in the house protecting the land, or at least he probably hasn't seen them in like a year? Like, they could have easily ended up shooting each other in accident. Yeah. You know what I mean? He could have just shot up and shot them, or they could have shot down at him thinking he was a part of the gang. Yeah. Obviously, it's a TV show. I figured that wouldn't happen, but
I'm in agreement with you on the whole. Okay, we know that the baby name is John. So, and he was born either 23 or 24.
24, it said March.
So now, how would it got to be? Okay, well, we would think 24, and we don't know how long he lived, but we do know there's a John in Yellowstone, an old man named John.
Right.
Is that the baby, or is that like...
It's got to be the baby's baby.
Right, exactly, because that's where because John in Yellowstone, I haven't seen it yet, which I got to watch. Is that Kevin Costner's...
Yeah, that's his character.
But it's an old man in there named John too, though, right?
No, not in Yellowstone.
Not in Yellowstone? Because I was reading a little bit about it, and I think when they was reading it, they said there was a old man in Yellowstone or something like that name was John. So I'm trying to figure out who was Kevin Costner's father and to connect it all, whatever else, because it's so much connection. That's the reason why I'm saying, I know we did a 1883. We did a 1923. Somewhere in between that middle, you just need to do a little small series that's going to connect it to Yellowstone so everybody can be like, okay, now I know who's what in Yellowstone, how the Duttons kept going, like who's connecting what to what. So
there is another show coming called 1944. That's another spinoff coming. So that'll be
that got to be Baby John.
Right. So, but not really, because that would still make Kevin Costner's character 80 years old, which he was not in Yellowstone. So, but this could be where the show starts in 1944, maybe ends in 1954, and at the end of it, that's when John's born. Because that would make more sense for Kevin Costner's character to be born in the 50s.
You reading this right now?
Yeah.
They saying that?
Yeah, it says the Yellowstone spinoff series set in 1944 will explore the impact of World War II on the Dutton family and the Yellowstone Ranch. It'll follow a new generation of Duttons, potentially including the children of Spencer and Alex from 1923.
See.
So this would make John, not Kevin Costner's John, but the John baby. This would make him 21.
21. So that can connect Kevin Costner's character, because if he's 21 in what, World War II?
It was 1944. He's 21.
Right. So he get out, say 54. He 54. He'll be like what?
33.
Then what? 64. That's what? 33, 43. So yeah, like it. That's what I'm saying. It could go from there, and because you just gotta like put it all together, which is like, I think it's pretty cool that you're gonna do another, because we were just talking about that. You gotta do another one just to connect it. And I wonder, are they gonna have his sister just doing narration again?
Yeah, so that's what I thought was kind of weird about this 1923 is that the girl who died
in
in 1883 narrates 1923, which is obviously impossible because she's dead.
Well, impossible, but I guess look at it like this, kind of like we know that, this whole thing we talk about, heaven and earth and all that, just being one of those things where, because she said, after so many years, he took in a widow, had another,
46.
But he didn't have another. He had another kid with that widow.
Yep.
But he never married her.
Never married her.
And then 46 years later, he passed?
Yeah, so he died in 1969. So he could be in this 1944 show.
Exactly.
So he could be in the show. Maybe he'll even give birth to another kid or something. I don't know. We'll
gonna
see.
see how it play. But I'm just saying, if you're a fan of just like looking at history and stuff that taking place at that time, look at it, check it out. It's good because you still got the one Indian girl. She rode off into the sunset. What did dude tell her to go to California?
Yeah, she got off with all those murders.
Yeah, because I said you don't watch it, but what they did is they took her back to Oklahoma and I think was it South Dakota she was from?
Maybe.
South Dakota, North Dakota. They wanted them to charge her in Oklahoma. The judge was like,
well, all the witnesses were dead.
All the witnesses was dead. And how can I charge you with anything? Because this is not my damn this is not their jurisdiction. And he said, man, case dismissed. Tell them next time to handle their own fucking affairs. That's exactly how he said it. And then the one Indian guy, he told her, he was like, you might want to go to California. There's more Crow and more like Latinos that way in California. So go to California. Yeah, man, it's good. It'll show that like grip you in, because I know I kept hearing about Yellowstone, but then when they was like 1883, a Yellowstone origin, I was like, wow. I watched that and it got me hooked, got me gripped. And then right after that, I kept seeing Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. I was like, what the heck are they in right there? And then they said 1923. I'm like, 1923. And then right up under it said a Yellowstone origin. I was like, oh, so they gonna keep it going? Oh, I was like, oh man, I'm hooked. So now I have to watch Yellowstone. I have to see how them damn fucking Duttons is. 'Cause they say, whew, in this Yellowstone, I think it was the sister.
Yeah, Beth.
They said Beth is like,
yeah, she
almost kind of like remind you
she's
of
insane.
Like a Spencer type, just wild card. Like,
oh no, because Spencer is a badass. She is mentally unstable. Oh shit. She is insane.
Okay, so and who is the other brother that's running for like some type of public office?
Jamie. Jamie is the nerdy kind of brother who is in politics. And then there's another brother who is like a cattle ranch law officer. Like he's a police officer, but for cattle enforcement. Okay. And then there's another brother that dies in the very first scene of Yellowstone. It literally opens with their other brother dying, and then they almost never mention that brother again in the entire series. Okay. Well, and people kind of complain about that. They're like, hey, remember when there was another family member who straight up got in a shootout with the police or whatever and died in the beginning, and then you never mention him again?
So we do know there's another one coming out called 1944 instead of 1943, but 1944 is still it's
you know that Native American actress, she's local, right? Did I tell you guys that before?
Yeah. I want to meet her.
Yeah, she's from Morton High School, and she's she grew up in Hammond.
I just want to meet her and ask her how did she get the role, because she played the hell out of that fucking role. Like, I mean, she killed the nun that kept fucking with her. She killed the nun that was trying to.
What's her name?
Go up inside her.
Amina. I don't know how to say her name. Aminah. Amina. Amina Nieves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then she was amazing in that, bro. Like, just, and then she killed the fucking priest that was coming after her. She said, fuck him.
Well, all her killings were justified.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because the one lady that was in there that was a sheriff, she almost didn't want to take her in. She almost wanted to just say, hey, let her go. But,
Have you guys watched Yellow Jackets?
Yes. No. I'm going to watch the finale tonight, and I will speak about it next week.
No. All right. Well, then I'll hold off on that because I just started the first season, so I'm just getting into it.
What do you think so far? Because Coach didn't like it. Coach watched 2 episodes.
I watched
and bailed.
2 episodes. I just couldn't. I don't know. It wasn't gripping. And I was just like, come on.
You know, it's loosely based on a true story.
That's what I gotta hear.
The premise is not the shit that actually happens in the show, but the premise is there was a rugby team in the 90s that crash landed in, I think, Canada. Just like in this show, we think it's Canada, and they had to start eating each other.
Oh, that's called Alive.
Yeah, they made a movie about it. Yeah,
yeah, I seen that movie. It got Ethan Hawke in it.
Could be. Yeah, about a rugby team.
Yeah,
that's the real life story.
They went in Canada. They was in Greenland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they was in Greenland.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's the premise that it's based off of.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you think so far?
So far, I think that it's a good show. I can understand how you would say that it's not gripping yet because there's no like suspense and it's very jumpy. And the timeline with the older people just isn't really great. Like it's all about the younger kids' timeline, and the rest of it just wasn't really captivating. It's kind of corny, but it's decent. It's good. I mean, I definitely want to get to catch all the way up. So
what character is Elijah Wood supposed to be playing in that movie?
So he doesn't come in until season 3, maybe. I think we're on season 4 right now, or are we on 3? He's not in the first season for sure. He doesn't come in until second.
I
or
didn't
third.
see him.
Yeah, he's not in season 1.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be somebody dating somebody?
He plays a present time character. He doesn't play, well, obviously, because he wasn't on the plane. But yeah, he plays a present day character, and he is tied in with Misty.
Okay. So this is about a group of girls that crashed. Where did they crash at?
It doesn't really say.
They don't really say, but we think honestly, people online have like tried to figure it all out and stuff based on like the fauna and all this stuff, and they think it was Canada based on their flight because they were going from like the New Jersey area to like Washington or something. So people realized that the flight path should take them over Canada, and they probably crashed somewhere near maybe the Rockies.
They crashed and they got stuck, and they just had to start eating people
to survive.
But if that was the case, you were in Canada, you ain't. Because from what I was looking at, it wasn't cold or anything like that. You couldn't find no damn deer around there or something like that.
Well, they get into that. So season 1, they crash in the summer. Season 2 takes place in the winter. Season 3 goes back to the summer again. Season 4 is probably going to be winter.
How long did it take them to get out the fucking woods?
We don't know yet because they keep showing the timeline of them when they crash and the timeline of them as adults. And they kind of left out those middle 20 years. So everything that happens is kind of not getting closer to the middle because the present timeline is still advancing forward, but they're kind of filling in the gaps. And eventually we're going to find out because we don't know how they survived yet. We're literally in season 3. We still don't know how they got off
these
the
are some
island.
Things in the present, they don't want to never talk about or bring up. Am I right?
They give clues to it, so they kind of vaguely mention it, but they're keeping that as like the overall big mystery, like how the fuck they got out. And then some of their family members in present time are starting to find out things about them and learn what they did to survive. And like they keep like kind of everything has been like kind of hinted at, but they haven't fully told us how they get out, or you don't even know what characters actually survived yet because. When the plane crashes, there's like 20 of them on the team that survived. In the present day, they start out with like, 4 or 5 of them, but then more characters start popping up that you didn't know survived the plane yet because they haven't bridged those gap years.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's a good show so far. So definitely worth getting into. That's Yellow Jackets. That's on
Showtime.
Showtime.
Which is now Paramount. Yeah, it's now Paramount Plus and Hulu.
It's all mixed in.
Just before we move on to the next topic, don't forget, people, April the 13th, season 2, The Last of Us. I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's 3 days from now. There's so many shows starting right now.
Yeah, there are.
Andor comes out on the 22nd.
I still got to finish up the first season of that.
Oh, Andor's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
22nd. Black Mirror. Black Mirror just came out like yesterday.
Oh, it's available to watch?
Yeah, the whole season dropped.
What's
Black
it called?
Mirror. Black Mirror. Oh, you've never seen that
Then
show?
maybe that's what we watching her for next week.
I think it's like 5 episodes though. Like it's kind of a lot.
Or actually, no, we'll have 2 weeks.
What type
Oh,
of
we're not pod next week.
No.
Okay.
No. So we'll have
what
2
type
weeks.
of show is that?
Do you like Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone is it's alright, but it should that time Twilight Zone got a little creepy.
Yeah. Well, that's so. Black Mirror is the same concept where each episode is its complete own storyline. None of the episodes relate.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of about like, but this show is all based on technology. Not Yellowstone. Jesus. Twilight Zone was, yeah, like you said, kind of creepy. You know, like that episode where the one guy, all he wanted to do was have time to read his books. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the world ends and it's just him and he's in a library full of books and he's so happy. And then he trips and breaks his glasses. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like almost like when the devil gives you a wish, you know, there's always some sort of twist to it. That's how Twilight Zone was. This show was more about technology and about like what happens if technology keeps going this direction, and here's like the kind of crazy dystopian type of bad shit that could happen because of it. Most of the episodes are not happy. A lot of them are depressing or sad or like fucked up, or you know what I mean? There's a couple ones that actually have good feel good stories. But for the most part, if you watch a couple episodes, you'll be like, fuck, I need to watch something to cheer me up, because it's like it's a downer because it shows you what could happen with technology.
But it's super, super, super interesting.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite shows because it really makes you think. There are still episodes that I still think about years later. You know that White Christmas episode with John Hamm?
Yeah, I do.
So you have seen that one?
No. Hold on. Let me look it up.
The White Christmas episode with John Hamm, I think it was season 1 maybe. It was when he's like basically in a cabin stuck with a guy and they're just talking, and then you eventually figure out that the one guy is basically in like virtual jail, and they kind of eventually start to reveal what the fuck he did, and they show him in his real life. And I'm honestly not remembering a lot of the storyline right now, but there's a technology that exists in the future where there's like something implanted into your eye with like memories or something, but it has the ability to, if someone can block you in real life. So like if you block me, when I look at you, all I see is blurs. I can't hear you. I can't see anything but a blurry pixelated thing in front of me. And so he starts getting blocked by people, and his like wife ends up blocking him. And then like, yeah, it's fucked up. But I think about that episode.
Okay. Because I was like, what the heck name of this show? I never got the name of it. So that's the episode I watched.
Black Mirror, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good show. Real quick, Zero Day. I'll talk briefly about that one. That's a show that has Robert De Niro in it playing a former president. It's actually
Does it have Angela Bassett in it too?
Yeah, it does. She plays the actual president in the show. It's like a limited series. I think it's only like 5 or 6 episodes or something like that on Netflix. Basically, 0 Day is an attack. It was a cyber attack that was like a highly technological cyber attack that was carried out against the United States. And what the commission, the 0 Day Commission, is supposed to be is it's just a commission that Robert De Niro takes the reins on to figure out who committed this crime, and that's pretty much what it's about. And the terrorist attack, the hack, basically like shut down everything, like street lights, like planes, like everything for like a minute. It shut down everything in the United States for like a minute, and it caused thousands and thousands of deaths, like with trains and different things like that.
Oh shit.
So they're trying to uncover who had the technology to do it, who did it, and then who was responsible and whatnot. It's going through the ebbs and flows, and then also it's like Robert De Niro being a former president, he's also fighting his own demons and his own brain. He even goes through bouts wondering if he's seeing things, hearing things. So it's got the aspect of it too. like, am I even capable of doing this and pulling this off? So it's a good show. If it's not a very long watch, and Robert De Niro is a really he does a really great job on that show. So that's 0 Day on Netflix.
That almost sounds like The World Left Behind.
Kind of. Only it doesn't it isn't like a world ending show.
Yeah.
It's basically just dealing with terrorism.
But you've seen that show though, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
With Nicole Kidman
Yeah.
and Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah, okay.
And then also The Devil All the Time, that has Tom Holland in it. I'll just throw that out there, and if you guys want to watch it and let me know what you think, then yeah. But basically, it's about telling the story of. I guess it follows the story of this little kid throughout his life and what he goes through, and just the struggles that he has throughout adulthood. But it tells also the story of like the rest of the town throughout that time. So and it moves kind of quick a little bit, but I was asked to watch it, but I was asked to watch it because someone said if I had to suffer through it, then you do too. So,
oh wow!
Oh, so they made you watch it in a bad way.
And, and it didn't tell me that it was that, and I was just like, oh well. I mean, it ended up being pretty decent. Like like Tom Holland did a really great job in it. It was a really good show, but or movie. I think it's only like 2 hour and a half long.
Oh no, it's actually 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And
it's Tom Holland and Harry Melling, who plays Dursley in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Dudley Dursley. And then it's also got Bill Skarsgård in it from the It movies.
Yeah, but it's
Robert Pattinson.
It's based. Robert Pattinson plays a reverend, and he does the voice and everything, and it is crazy.
British voice or American voice?
American, country American.
Oh, really?
White pastor.
Wow.
Yeah,
he pulls it off as a British dude.
He pulls it off. Yeah, and he does a really good job. It's that he's probably one of my favorite characters on that movie, just for how good of a job he plays being the janky reverend. So,
I'm just curious, what percent you would give it out of 100? Because I see the Rotten Tomato score.
70.
Okay, that's close. They gave it a 65.
They gave it a 65.
Yeah.
I always tell D when my wife wants me to watch a movie, I always look up the Rotten Tomato score first. I look at the critic review and the audience score, and I usually mix them together or average them together.
Then
and
you decide if you want to watch it.
Yeah, and I always tell her if it's not over like, depending on what it is, if it's like a serious movie and it's not over like 70, then I won't watch it. Yeah. If it's a comedy, as long as over 50, I'll probably watch it because comedies get shit on because they're usually dumb. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of like, it's kind of funny because she'll have some sort of movie and it's like she likes rom-coms, and she'll pull up a rom-com and it's got like a 40% of Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, nah. I'm not watching this. Like, wow. Come on, please. And I'm like, fine, I'll watch it, but I'm gonna be on my phone. Just let you know, I'm gonna be on my phone. So,
wow. Outside of that, do you want to touch on Minecraft?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the Minecraft movie came out this past weekend, and it actually broke Mario's record for biggest box office weekend.
Is that surprising for you?
Yeah, Mario was fucking huge, dude.
Yeah, because I know they should be making a Super Mario 2.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That movie was massive.
Didn't you see it at the end of it though?
Yeah. I can't remember what happened, but yeah, there was a
Yoshi.
post. Oh yeah, Yoshi. Yeah, I know there was a post credit scene. It earned 163 million domestically and over 300 million globally, making it the biggest debut of 2025 and the biggest video game adaptation of all time, surpassing the previous record held by the Super Mario Brothers movie.
What was the record?
In terms of dollars, that it does not say here in the article.
Is it first or is it opening?
Opening weekend. Yeah.
So Super Mario opening.
I don't think opening
weekend.
I think it's opening weekend, not opening day.
Super Mario did 146 million.
Okay, this is 163. So
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, more than 10% more. But that just really surprised me because I know Minecraft is huge. I know it's big with kids, all that stuff. But Mario transcends multiple generations, which is why I figured the Mario movie got kids who love Mario. It got millennials who love Mario. It even got Gen Xers who love Mario. Like Mario's been around in pop culture since the 90s.
But there might be more kids that love Minecraft now that love Mario. That's weird.
That has to be the answer. There has to be more Minecraft fans now than there are Mario. Obviously, there's more kids that like Minecraft than kids
Minecraft's
that like.
Been around as long as Mario's been around. Right?
No, hell no. Minecraft, no. Minecraft's probably been around for 15 years, maybe.
Okay.
Whereas Mario's been around for 40.
40, yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I was like surprised, but
or with the success of Mario and it being like a video game movie, Mario helped catapult Minecraft because it was like, oh, this is going to be similar to Mario. It looks like Mario, feels like okay, cool. I want to go see this.
Yeah, maybe. I was just really surprised that it beat Mario.
Isn't Jack Black in it?
Yeah,
maybe that's
he's
it,
also in Mario.
Yeah.
Jack Black plays a human himself in this one.
Yeah.
So I literally had never seen a trailer or anything from this movie until about a week ago, and then one of my coworkers said something about Jack Black being in it. I'm like, oh, he does a voice in it, and she was like, no, he's in the movie, and I was like, wait, this movie is not animated, it's people? And she's like, yeah, you haven't. I said, I've seen nothing about this movie. So then I watched a trailer, and it is human people with like digital characters in it.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea. And I don't play Minecraft. I've never played Minecraft. I have no plans on seeing the movie because it wouldn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But my God, there must be a lot of kids.
I will go watch it because my boys grew up playing Minecraft. And I have a son that wants to go and watch it just because. And I was like, it's a Minecraft thing, because the actual game, it does allow you to build things and this and that. And my son, he loves Minecraft. So I have to go check it out, though.
Cool.
Yeah, if I had a kid who wanted to see it, then yeah, I'd see it. But I don't have, my nieces and nephews don't play Minecraft.
Yeah.
I don't play Minecraft.
No, my boys were like big on that, and I'm looking like, wow, like okay, yeah, so that's crazy.
Minecraft was came out in 2011.
Okay,
so 14 years for Minecraft.
Right, yeah. And then on top of that, anything I know that Jack Black is in that's like a kids movie, he nearly does an awesome ass job because you got to think about like School of Rocks. That was a pretty good, decent movie. Both of the Jumanji movies he played in were good. So kids love Jack Black, and I was like, "Why you want to watch?" He was like, "Man, duh, Jack Black is in a movie, Dad." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah, I mean, he was in the Mario movie,
right?
So he was in the top 2 grossing video game adaptations of all time.
Because he played King Koopa.
He played Bowser.
Yeah, he played Bowser. Yeah.
So what's gonna beat this one? What's the next video game movie that's gonna beat it? Is it Mario? It's gotta be Mario 2, right?
Yeah,
they're making a second one.
Yeah, I don't know of any other video game movies that are coming out.
So you mentioned Assassin's Creed.
I said Assassin's Creed, but I believe Assassin's Creed, they were talking about a lot of movie doing a series on Netflix. And I was like,
that I would like more than a movie because there's so many games they could do one season per era.
Yeah, and you have to literally start like from the beginning of what Assassin's Creed is, and then I play a game called Division and Division 2. I know they were talking about making that into a movie, but they were probably going to do a Netflix series on that, which is pretty good because Division, if you ever played the game,
I played it.
It's just pretty taking premises of like today, and what do they call it? The dollar flu, where a guy he took a strand of some type of bug or something, whatever he did, and he made it and blew it up 10 times bigger than what it is, and he released the shit on a fucking dollar in the video game, and it took place on one of the biggest days he knew that people were gonna be out. fucking Black Friday. And then remember in the game, everybody was looking for that strand, that dollar, and the government collapsed and everything went on from there. And then you got a watch. Let's kind of like say a Samsung watch. You'll get a gold like ring around that. Sitting here activating hybrid division agents when the fucking shit goes down, like letting you know like this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? They got all the tech that you could think of, and I was like, oh, it's fucking this in the game is like fucking awesome, bro. So I can see that. But Assassin's Creed, remember the movie they made? That was horrible.
For Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
No. See, that's the problem. I like the game. I didn't even know they made a movie.
I remember that. It was a long time.
What's the guy's name that played?
He was bald.
Wow. The guy that plays Magneto in the X-Men movies. In the new X-Men movies.
Oh wow, they did make one 8 years ago. It came out.
Well,
19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What's the guy's name?
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, he was in that, and they was like, this movie was whack, so they gotta redeem themselves, man.
Then you can't do another movie. Then you got to turn it into a TV show.
You got to,
yeah, because at this point you tried movie and it failed.
And Netflix is already talking about doing that. So
yeah,
wow. But see, that's kind of my point though. Like I think that kids games are gonna do the best because kids are gonna obviously guilt their parents and I want to see this movie.
So like for an Assassin's Creed and Division, adults will love that because it's fucking Assassin's Creed. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see them doing a Call of Duty movie. You know what I mean? Who fucking knows? But I don't know, man. We're gonna see. I think for the kids, we don't know when the new Mario movie is coming out. We know that Yoshi's gonna be in it, and I think I remember the princess. She said these pipes do go to other worlds. So, it was. I thought it was fucking crazy because who played Mario? Was it
It was Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Who played Luigi?
I don't remember.
I can't remember who played the princess.
Was that Anya Taylor-Joy? Did she play the
yeah,
Princess Peach?
Yeah. Is that the chick that played in Furiosa?
Charlie Day played Luigi.
Okay. Charlie Day from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty cool, man. We gonna see what's going on. On the flip side, there's a question I do want to ask you. So we were talking about 1923 and 1883.
Mm-hmm.
So who is John III? Because I'm reading this, it says Tim McGraw as James Dillard Dutton, and then John III's great grandfather.
So Tim McGraw, he played John in 1883.
Right, but who plays John III?
I think isn't that the baby that was just born?
Gotta be, because it says John III's great grandfather in this one. And like I said, they're from Tennessee. So, because in Yellowstone, Kevin Costner has got to be John IV.
I think he's John the Fourth.
So, like I said, that's the baby is going to tie everything else into it, because it says right here, it says he's John III's great grandfather.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. John the baby still has to grow up and have a child, and then that child will be John Dutton. So there's still one generation we're missing.
Yeah, so that's where 1944 is coming in at. Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Tell me about Taco Bell.
Ooh.
So I tried the new Taco Bell items. Honestly, this week, after I tried the pickle stuff at Popeyes, which was pretty good.
I haven't tried that.
The fried pickles were awesome. The sandwich just didn't have enough taste to it. It still tasted good. I just wouldn't have known it was a chicken thing. The pickle juice lemonade was wild. But this week I couldn't really find anything like too crazy or too viral to try. So a couple weeks ago, Taco Bell released their new Cantina Chicken Toasted Cheddar Street Chalupa. Tried that, and I also tried the Caliente Cantina Chicken Nacho Fries. The chalupa was pretty good. So it's basically just honestly, just a regular chalupa, but they toasted cheddar around the outside. So obviously when they were done with it, they threw some cheddar cheese on the griddle and then put the chalupa on it and kind of seared the cheese into the outside. So the outside is kind of crispy. Pretty decent. It was $5 and you get 2 of them. That was fine. The Caliente Cantina chicken nacho fries, they were okay, but they were just kind of dumb. It was so small. It was like $5 or $6. It was maybe that much.
Oh, hell no.
Like maybe like 12 fries with some nacho cheese on it. It said there was chicken on it. I found 1 piece of shredded chicken on it. Literally the least amount of chicken you could possibly put on it and still call it chicken. Not worth it at all.
What about the burrito?
The burrito I didn't try because it's the same ingredients just in a burrito as the chalupa. I didn't try that. But I don't know. My thing with Taco Bell, it's the same 5 or 6 ingredients that they just put in a different order or wrap around each other.
Or throw a sauce on.
And it's the same fucking thing.
Throw some powder on.
I don't dislike Taco Bell, but I never choose to go to Taco Bell. It's either my wife, it's somebody else.
That's my wife.
It's never something I will choose 5 other places over Taco Bell, which leads me to this point. There is no other fast food Mexican food in this area, right?
No.
We don't have a Del Taco. We don't have a Jack in the Box, which has tacos, right? Doesn't Jack in the Box have some Hispanic food?
Not much. Just that.
I feel like there's another one I'm missing besides.
There's no
El Pollo Loco.
There's no Pollo Loco. There's no really that's it.
We got Taco Bell is the only option we have in Northwest Indiana.
Okay, and then when you go out west, there's so many chain like actual Mexican restaurant chains.
Well, restaurants, but even fast food. Like I'm just we have chain Mexican or not chain, but we have Mexican restaurants around here.
Yeah, we do
like sit downs.
Pepe's.
Yeah, we got Pepe's. I like El Jimador. We got El Amigo. We got a bunch of spots, but I'm talking about like fast food. When I was eating that Taco Bell, I was like, God damn, there really is no other alternative for fast food.
Fast food.
Fast food Mexican food.
Only other spot, well, you can't really call it fast food, but people in Gary will know what I'm talking about. It's a spot on 5th Avenue. Has some of the best Mexican food ever. And I think they're still open, but I don't know if they I think people said they fell off, but man, they had some of the best tacos that was just fire. Like then they had like a taco platter dinner where you can make your own tacos and stuff like that. So, but like chain restaurants, yeah,
they're just Taco Bell, Chipotle, Qdoba.
Well, Chipotle is good. I like Chipotle.
I like really Chipotle, Mexican. but that's Tex-Mex at best. Yeah. I mean, I don't even consider those Mexican places. Like I would,
right? Yeah.
Let's go get Mexican food. Yeah, let's go to Chipotle. Like no, that's so Americanized.
Yeah. So
but like Taco Bell, I feel like they're the only one we have for fast food, right? I mean, am I not thinking of something? I'm trying to Google shit right now, and I can't.
El Pollo Loco, Baja Fresh. We don't have that here,
right? We don't have Del Taco. We don't have El Pollo Loco. We don't have Baja Fresh. We don't have. I feel like there's another one.
Carl's Jr. does some taco stuff. We don't have that.
Oh, like I said, Jack in the Box.
They have Jr. here.
Oh well, just not
in Michigan City.
In Michigan City, yeah. No, you're about right. They stand alone.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. We need at least one of those out here.
Yeah, we really do. We need a Pollo Loco.
I would take that. Just at least try it.
How's they food?
PF Chang's.
How's the one spot you just had? How's they Mexican food?
Pollo Loco?
Yeah.
Just like slightly. It's like a different Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Del Taco is like a different Taco Bell. El Pollo Loco is more like, it's like a mix in between Taco Bell and like real Mexican food. It's like, it looks like fast food, but it's like really close to Mexican. They have really good like grilled chicken and all types of stuff. It's really good food. El Pollo Loco is good.
Got you.
There was another one I was thinking about too.
I'm trying to look up a list, but it's
whoever owns PF Chang's. There's another one that they do too. That's real. Payway. Payway was really good.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, Payway is like it's like a fancier Panda Express.
Moe's Southwest Grill, we don't have that. I kind of consider that more like Chipotle.
Yeah.
But still, that's another one we don't have.
I think we used to.
We did in Cherville.
Yeah.
I went to it a few times.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this baby on up. Yeah, thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we are available on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. We're available on all your socials. Look us up. Give us suggestions, shit you want us to try, things you want us to watch, any shows that you guys are interested in. Thank you guys for coming out and showing out tonight. We appreciate you coming through.
Always. We'll be back and when?
Not next week, but the following. So
Okay.
yeah.
Man, by that time, excuse me, we'll have Andor to talk about. We'll have the finale of Yellow Jackets to talk about. We will have
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us will have started.
Yeah.
Black Mirror, we probably will have finished it by then. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Check out The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Handmaid's Tale. That starts this weekend too.
Is it so? This is gonna be the season finale.
This is the last season, the final season.
You said Andor, Black Mirror, Handmaid's Tale. What was the other one?
Um,
Oh yeah. You were talking about Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yeah.
And The Bondsman. What is a Handmaid's Tale about? Because
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that. You keep looking at it, but I'm like,
It's kind of dark. It's like
It's very dark.
basically America's biggest problem is basically like
Fertility.
what Elon Musk is always talking about. And so part of America kind of secedes and does its own thing and they have their own laws and different things, and they're basically they have these handmaids that
fertile women.
Yeah, fertile women. They grab them and they kidnap them from wherever they came from, if they're in the country, out of the country, but they make them handmaids, and handmaids are made to lie with, the head of the household to have the baby. So it's a story of, the handmaids and what they go through, and, how they try to free and liberate themselves from having to be pretty much
They're just baby slaves.
laborers, baby slaves.
but you got the one lady that's the
Elizabeth
star
Moss.
of it. She decided to break the chain,
Yep.
Yeah.
and they looking for it, right?
Well, it's a whole thing. It's a whole
journey. But yeah, it starts off with her as a handmaid, and she doesn't like the way she's been treated. They literally just get raped. That's all they do is they get raped to get pregnant. They have a baby. Then they either stay with that family to give them more, or they get passed on to a new family, or they get like retired.
Yeah.
If they can't have babies, or if they act out, they go work on work fields, and they just become slaves that just work on. I don't even know what they do. They're just working fields, basically, just as punishment.
And she just said, "Fuck it, I ain't taking this shit no more."
Yeah.
Because so they live in this new country called Gilead. So the United States breaks off, and they live in this Gilead, which is very, very religious. That the man is the head of the household. He controls everything. He's allowed to hit his wife. Their women are property.
Oh, wow.
The women have to be escorted around. They have to wear these bonnets over their heads where they can't look. Like horses, like blinders. They get ushered to the grocery store. They're not supposed to speak to each other. They just say like really religious shit, like under his eye and things like weird, just religious stuff. And yeah, then she kind of acts out because these people were normal people who were kidnapped. So it's not like these are people who have grown up living this way.
Yeah.
They remember what life was like 3 years ago when shit was normal. So she starts acting out and rebelling and trying to get a coalition of these women to help her act out. And then they try and get normal families, like rich families. They try to get their help and try to tell them like, hey, don't you remember like 3 years ago when everything was fucking normal? Like, remember that? Like, who the fuck are you now? Like acting all. So it's really good.
I heard in the show she kind of a badass.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. But it's a really good show. It's really heavy and dark because it deals with like obviously rape and like terrible miscarriages and shit like that. But
I gotta watch The Agent on Showtime.
I haven't heard of that.
That's it got keep forgetting the guy's name, but it got Richard Gere in it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's basically about a dude that's He's a spy. He been undercover for so many years.
Oh, is it The Agency?
Yeah, I gotta check that out. So, look pretty good, man. You know, but other than that,
Cool. Like I said, thank you. It was a vibe. It was real. This is the panel. They call me Swill, and we will see you guys very, very soon.